and we are here, as Zachary said off the air, to give you your State of the Impact address. His
You couldn't see
Frito
it, but I
Chief.
started marching when you were doing that.
You couldn't see it, but I was marching while I was doing it too. I was doing the little shoulder shuffle where you keep your wrists straight in front of your stomach. Yeah, we have your Frito and Chief, Zachary Tyler Pew Pew Duncan, and I am the Secretary of Self-Destruction. There you go, Megadeth. I just got your next album named for you. I am Chad Porto. He's Zachary Tyler Pew Pew Duncan. We are here to talk some Impact-orama. Zach's like, holy shit, he can carry a note. I know. What?
Wild.
Every time I do the what, I think of Sean doing the in Psych when he just starts dancing and stomping his foot. By the by, the only appropriate dancing that will ever be allowed in anyone's wedding henceforth and in perpetuity is one of, if not a combination of all, the peanut struts. So if you want to do the little head nod and the foot shuttle, maybe you want to do the Snoopy and the hands out as you jump from foot to foot, all perfectly legal. Or you can be Linus and just fucking, or not Linus. Who's the piano playing fuck?
Schroeder.
You can be Schroeder and just go da 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 da. That's also acceptable. Although you cannot
agree
actually
with everything that's being said right now.
And I'm going to your wedding, so hell yeah. You're just gonna see me doing the Snoopy all night.
I'm on board.
All right, so we got some news. You were texting me during the Ohio guys recording, and I'm like, Zachary, the one time I want to talk to you about this, you text me at the one time I can't. You cunt.
I did not know you were recording, nor did you tell me.
I did not want to be rude because you were actually intrigued about a situation in wrestling. I don't want to stamp that down. It's like a smoldering fire. I want to breathe air into that. Get that flame a-going. I will never stamp out that wrestling fire. But just kind of a point of emphasis, if it's a day that ends in Y, I'm recording at some point.
Fair.
My only night off is Monday. Sometimes I get Sunday off, depending on what we're doing with Marcus. But that's about it. Usually working all day through. I'm working 9 to 14. Because, it's more 2 in the morning, but I forgot, that y'all don't know about fucking military time, so here we are. Technically, it's not 14, it'd be 2, but still fuck off. 9 to 2 doesn't make any goddamn sense. It makes you think I'm only working 7 hours. I don't. I work far more than that. Wait, is that right? 7 hours? 5 hours? 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2... 5 hours. Fuck you.
I mean, yeah.
I don't do math. I don't work in a bank. By the by, I went in to open up a new account at my bank on Tuesday, Monday. And my banker, she was totally flirting with me.
Yeah.
And I need to make more money, so I have more reasons to go in there and make more accounts. How do I apply for a small business loan? Do you have a small business? Well, that's why I need the loan.
I mean, that's fair.
Right? Just keep borrowing loans on top of loans just to see if she ever asks or inquires about a date. In her mind, she'd probably be thinking, this dude's opened up 46 accounts in fucking 46 weeks. I'm fucking making bank.
She's meeting her quotas, man.
Yeah, she is. I thought opening up an account like that would it was just another savings account that I opened up. I was like, yeah, I'll just go and do it through the teller. Like, no, you gotta do it through a banker. I'm like, why? Whatever. So now I have me a savings account with some monies, and it gets like a penny a month in interest. Baller.
Yeah, that's pretty much what all savings accounts do.
Baller. Shot caller. Dude, do you realize in 12 months I'm going to have 12 extra cents to my name? What? And that's 12 more cents than Tessa had in her entire run as world champion in Impact. Oh, she's stupid.
Oh, shit.
She had 0 cents. And that's SENSE for those of you who don't understand the word jokes. Tessa Blanchard got fired. Gone got fired. That's what I was trying to say. Gone got fired.
Yes. And apparently not unreasonably so.
Right? Turns out they had cause because she kind of the big bitch. Although Austin Aries is making a serious claim for that run with the, if you really want to worry about your health, you should throw out all your junk food. But telling me I need to wear a mask to help you, well, that's just not gonna happen. Oh, Austin Aries, you're such a rebel. You know, with your ability to punch a virus.
Why does he just continue to be such a dick?
Well, there's a reason why Thea Trinidad, a.k.a. Rosita, a.k.a. I don't know what her name is in WWE, has no desire to ever be associated with him again. There's a reason why MLW brought him in for like a week and Corp Hours like, you can get the fuck out. I mean, there's a reason why that dude's literally been fired from every place he's ever worked. I mean, eventually, you know, what's that old saying that I always repeat? If one person calls you an asshole, that person's probably an asshole. If 2 people call you an asshole, they're probably the asshole. If 3 people call you an asshole, you're probably the asshole.
Yeah.
Austin Aries, you're probably the asshole. So, Tessa's like, hey, I'm the world champion. I got that big dick energy, and I'm the world champion, and I'm a woman. And you're going to watch me, you know, shatter the glass ceiling. All she ended up doing was breathing on it like a window licker. Breaking anything? The only thing she broke was the fans' desire to ever see her again. So I guess that was successful. The WWE's interested in her now that she's been let go, and apparently their catchphrase for her is going to be, the snozzberries takes like snozzberries. Because you'd have to be that incredibly high to treat the company that made you the first woman champion of a men's division that poorly. After all the things they've done to elevate your character and career that quite clearly you don't deserve anymore. Zach, it would be one thing if she said, I know I'm supposed to travel, but I am scared to death of getting sick. And I'm sorry, but I cannot make my commitments. I am going to resign as world champion because it's not fair that I hold up the company like this, and I want them to go ahead and put someone just as wonderful and deserving as me as the world champion, because that's what this company deserves, because they've done so much for me. I'm sorry, I just don't have it in me to go out there and work. I'd be like, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Completely understandable. We are in the midst of a health crisis.
Yes. The terms global pandemic, which by the by will be the name of my metal band when I ever get it going. We are global pandemic, and we are here going to get you inoculated. Dun, 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 dun. Zach's already on board, I can tell. He's like, I'll manage it. Right into the ground because your music's terrible.
Damn straight. And I won't even have to try because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
So I got you booked at a Honey Hut. What's that? It's an ice cream place. Really? And it's December, Zach. Only venue that would take you.
Bright side, free ice cream.
Downside, it's the only thing warm in the area. So WWE's interested in her, whatever. All Tessa had to do was record some promos on her laptop. All she had to do was click, 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 enter, close the Pornhub, open the camera, and fucking record, man.
Yeah. I suspect that the 1 week that the Impact results said Tessa was on was supposed to be that week that she sent in her promo. and didn't.
Good sir, I think you might have a point there. I think they said that she appeared. We'll have to go back and look at the results and see exactly how it was phrased.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember it was supposed to be a video or if she was expected to be there at the location itself. I don't know. But she gone. Michael Elgin is apparently gone as well. So that means the main event of Slammiversary is going to be Eddie Edwards versus Trey Miguel versus the Ace Austin and a mystery opponent. So my hopes of this becoming a King of the Mountain match out the window.
Yes. Unless they somehow just did it as a 4-way King of the Mountain match.
I guess they could, but I don't know. You need 5.
I mean, there was nothing about it that ever said it had to be 5 people, but I mean, that's just kind of what it's always been.
Well, it's like the term 5 for fighting. Like, you got 5. You got the fighting booth. And when you rabble rouse, you go into the booth. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Rabble.
Rabble.
So, early money for me is leaning towards either Eric Young, EC3, or, I don't know, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I don't know. Dude, if Tanahashi shut up, out you black. I was joking. Tanahashi's like the inverse of Candyman. Whenever you speak his name, he comes to save the day. Tanahashi.
That's 3.
Ban, dun, 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 ban, dun, dun. He comes out with his fucking Eric. Yeah! I'm so jacked for this fictional idea in my head. So James Storm is a name that's available due to NWA kind of letting everyone kind of do their thing for the interim. Eli Drake, Nick Aldis could technically show up. Then, of course, you have the recently released names, your EC3, your Heath Slater, your Eric Young. They've all been heavily hinted at and featured on adverts for the show. Who else was there? Kurt Angle could be a name.
Yeah.
Could be the Rusev. Like, if you want to get some real strange in fiction, Sting. Technically, he said it, maybe he's not done. Maybe he is. I don't know. I mean, you 60. But, like, Terry Funk was wrestling at 71, so, like, who the fuck's going to tell anyone anything at this point?
And you can't, and nobody could tell me that Sting is in worse shape than Terry Funk.
You mean Sting's in better shape than Terry Funk?
I mean, yes. No one's going to tell me that, you got it.
Yeah, that Sting's in worse shape. Yeah. Sting is clearly in better shape than Terry Funk, and Terry Funk has, like, one leg. And it's wood. And it's not even on him. It's at home. He still wrestles. I think he wrestled at the age of 73. The man's insane. I love him. So Sting's 61. I don't really think it's going to be Sting. Like, let's be honest about that. Angle's an outside shot. I think he's 49 or 50. So, like, there's a chance, but not a good one. Rusev makes sense if he does come on in. And he's kind of been very vague. You know, usually when someone's coming in or is trying to hide that they're coming in, they'll be like, well, I can't say yes or no to this. Yeah, it pretty much means you're coming in. That's essentially what Rusev said. I don't know if he's coming in, but I would be surprised. And let's be honest, 4 spots just opened up. We need all the help we can get. Because they're all pretty big spots. As much of a schmuckle-doodle-doodle that Joey Ryan is, he was an upper mid-card guy. He was on 2 segments a show.
He was.
That's 2 segments you got to fill now. So, my first thought was you just put Rhino and Rob Van Dam in the match, make it a 5-way King of the Mountain match, put the belt on Eddie, or even Rhino for that matter, and go forth from there. But with the 4th man, I think more than likely it's going to end up being Eric Young, possibly, or Mr. Anderson, possibly. So we'll see what happens with that. It's probably not going to be Heath Slater because I would hope to God this company has better sensibilities than to put a comedy act in the main event. Like, this is an AEW. You don't need to try so hard with Shawn Spears this time around, guys. So we'll see what happens. Zach, of all the names on the roster and off, including the Tanahashi of it all, who would you like to see show up as the fourth man in this match?
I would like to see EC3, but I also am kind of holding out EC3 going up against Moose, because I think that'd be something.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Young makes sense. They pretty much shoved Eric Young in our face this past episode. So, though they've been doing that every week with somebody different, so it could mean they're all coming in. It could mean they're all just playing us. Who knows?
Stone Cold shows up. Well, you swerved us good on that one, guys.
It's a massive swerve. Holy shit. Never saw it coming.
Swerve Cold Stone Austin.
You good with that one?
I am not. That's terrible.
I hope not. Really hope not.
Cold Swerve Steve Austin. There it is. All right. Admittedly, that's not much better.
It's not much better. It's a little bit better. Eli Drake would be great, though I don't know. I'm not sure. To me, it feels like Eli Drake didn't really leave on the best of terms.
True.
With Impact, so there's that. Nick Aldis / Magnus, though. When is NWA supposed to start taping the next season?
2021.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like these cats are going to be out of work for some time.
He got some time. James Storm would be a good name to bring in, though, because I mean he was an original.
Yes, he was. Now, the only reason why I hesitate with the Storm, James, not Tim. Tim Storm would be a welcomed addition. Is because
Tim Storm is fantastic.
Yes. The caveat to James Storm is, what about the Chris Harris? We did see the Ace and Eights jacket last week.
Yes.
D'Lo Brown was supposed to tag with Mr. Anderson as Ace and Eights at the Welcome Home or Homecoming, whatever the fuck it was called, events.
No place like home.
No place like home. So it would stand to reason that Mr. Anderson would come in with the Ace and Eights angle with D'Lo and probably the Good Brothers, and we'll get to them here in a second. But the other idea was, Chris Harris is supposed to be on that show as well. If they're going to try to redo that show with this show, which is what I hope they do, the idea is you bring in Chris Harris as well, and then maybe you do James Storm versus D'Lo and Mr. Anderson. Won't be 5 stars, but it's AMW reuniting for the first time in 13 years, 14 years. I think I'd be okay with that.
I could dig that.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. We'll get to the Good Brothers of it all here in a second. The announcement was made from a mantle in the home of Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne. And Thackeray, the only thing I had to say was, how did no one not point out that they're living together? And they hate each other so much.
Right? You kind of... Like, we all know that they're married.
Wait, they're married? She hates him so much.
But you really kind of killed. Like, it's really, I get it. It's the best you can do. It's probably the best looking set that you could come up with in your home. Understandable. But you kind of killed the angle a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say a lot of it, though.
Yeah.
I would still say that there's enough there to keep it going because we all know wink, wink, nod, nod. It's like you're telling me, oh, wait, all those adult films, the Pizza Boy really isn't that desirable? What? Oh, that can't be right. He's got the sausage, though. And everyone knows when you approach a 38-year-old divorcee and say, did you order the sausage? That means inherently she has to have sex with you. What? Kayfabe? What? I just thought it was funny as hell. Like, hey, we live together. This is our house. Oh, and we got the belt back from Tessa. You know what would have been funny? If Josh had started off the whole thing with like, yeah, and you know, we all have a new world champion because we had to strip our champion of the belt, and then like Madison walks in, her face is kind of bloodied up, and her hair is kind of all over the place, and she puts the belt, which has lots of blood on the mantle, and she's like, I got it back.
That would be amazing.
And then as she walks away to shower, she just goes, and that border patrol sucks. Like, that would have been great. And Josh could have been like, oh, well, I didn't realize that my my colleague, Madison, was back from her vacation in Mexico so soon. Oh, God, that would have been some funny-ass shit. See, that's what happens when you don't have me on the writing staff. I don't get to have fun with this. Oh. She could also come in with like a few teeth in her hand, and Josh could have been like, did you get that from the champion? And Madison could have been like, nope. From her bitch roommate. And like she like drops them on the ground and walks away. Implying that she ripped out the teeth from Daga's face. Oh, God, that would have been great. She pimp smacked Daga so hard he lost his lower fucking teeth. Now he only has a tooth. Because he lost all of his teeth. Teeths. Anyway. So we move on to our first segment of the night. It is Chris Bay versus Johnny. God damn it. I always see the with and I go versus. It's Chris Bay versus Suicido. El Suicide. Suicizzy. What did Pope call suicide? Was it suicide?
I think so. That sounds about right.
Suicidio. So we got Chris Bay versus Phil Collins over here. Because he's saying Suicidio.
I don't get that one.
The song yeah, fuck you. You uncultured swine. That one he got. So Bay is on the I will cheat to cheat for the sake of cheating. Because the only culture he cultures for is the cheating culture. I appreciate it. Because like so many other people are like, I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna beat you. And then he cheats like a little scumbag. But Chris Bay is like, nah, I'm not Seth Rollins. I'm gonna stab you in the back to your face. So the best line of Eureka Season 3 goes to Stark. The new villain or antagonist of the season goes, some of you went behind my back. Or no, some of you went right behind my back. And Stark goes, some of us went right in front of your back. And I'm like, yeah! I like that line. So Chris Bay is basically saying, I'm going to go right in front of your back. Like, you know, here it comes. I like that. I like that that's who he is. You know, like when, what's his name? Isaiah Scott now? He was known as Swerve on the Indies. Like, his whole shtick was, you know, he was going to swerve you. Chris Bay's like, I'm just going to cheat. Yep. I guess that's the real Swerve here. He defeats Suicidio after faking a knee injury. He's like Eddie Guerrero without that wholesome charm. You know, of lying, cheating, and stealing all your valuables.
So wholesome. All the kids love him.
Right? Not like the Will Smith lie, cheat, and steal. Where you lie awake at night with the one you love. You cheat death and steal each moment. No, Eddie Guerrero's committing Grand Theft Auto and leaving you destitute. But he's the good guy. The best fucking bit was, so Chavo and Eddie are on the golf course. So how many was that? And Eddie's like, 1, 2, 3, 4. My neighbor's an asshole shooting off fireworks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 off the tree. Give me a 2. and like the best part was just give me a 2. Oh fuck! I miss the Los Guerreros. So, what's your thoughts on Chris Bay faking an Injurino to beat the Suicido?
I dig it. I mean, he definitely owns up to what he is. There's no false pretenses about him. He's like, I'm this athletic, and I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to win this match, and I don't care, and I dig it.
It's an impressive heel quality, to actually be a heel.
Yes.
I dig it.
So rare these days.
Right? So then we go backstage. Gia Miller's interviewing TNA World Champion Moose. Don't say self-proclaimed. He doesn't like that. He's talking about how he's going to defend against crazy Steve Moreno tonight. And needless to say, it's going to be one of those moments to remember if you're the Steve Moreno. All right. Then we have that Johnny Swinger has been banned from Ringside Slammiversary, which I found perplexing because technically Bay faked the injury, not, Johnny Swinger.
Well, it was Swinger after was talking to Bay and was talking about buying off the referee and doing all this shit, and the ref overheard him. He's like, "Nah, you're not gonna be there."
Oh yeah. Did you know Sears still had a home improvement business?
Who?
Sears. Yeah, I didn't either. Article from Reuters. Sears exploring sale of home improvement business. I was perplexed. I didn't know they had a home improvement business.
I didn't know they were still alive.
Apparently. Kind of like Chris Bay's opportunity at a Next Division Championship. Look at that. Next up, we get Reno Scum versus TJP and Falaba. Unfortunately, I did not catch this match. Opportunities and such that were forced me to miss it. I'm going to assume it was great. 5 stars. And that Reno Scum won in 34 seconds. Negative 16 seconds. Their music hit and declared the winners. And I know they weren't because I can clearly read TJP and Falaba defeated Reno Scum. Breaks my fucking heart.
I would love it. I would love it if someone, while they're being announced, the David Pencer or whoever, is just like, and making it away to the ring, the winner of the match, Moose.
That would be fantastic. I would 100% mark for that. 100%.
And with Moose, you can believe it. Because if you don't say he won the match, he's going to beat the shit out of you.
Which, pretty much on brand for him.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get Madison Rayne. She's doing her locker room talk. Her guest with John E. Bravo. And who'd have thunk it, there's Rosemary, just kind of chilling. Like a creepy little raven. A little sexy crow. Recovering all the superlatives for this one. The sexiest crow. The creepiest raven. So the talk basically divulged to, does Johnny Bravo love Rosemary? Rosemary seemed very keen on that answer, and Johnny Bravo was very much not down with giving up the big ol' answers on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of funny. I'm interested to see how that goes, because mainly, and this is important, because Taya and Rosemary are now officially tag team partners coming out of this segment, by the by, TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships seem more and more likely each and every fucking week. The thing that's going to come into play is, how is Taya going to feel about Rosemary and John E. Bravo doing their thing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see how that plays out. Obviously, Taya shows up making it all about her. And Rosemary and Taya formally cement their tag team ship. And then Taya drags Rosemary out of the room to I guess, go over designs. I don't know.
I mean, they got a match.
right? You can't be like some of these fucking tag teams, just fucking showing up and looking all like they, whatever the fuck, You don't want to do that. That's now good. We then got, I guess this is part of the promo for the Jericho, not Jericho. I can see Jericho's name in the fucking banner in the back. That's why I said Jericho. We got the interview segment, I guess, from Jordan Grace. I don't know who this dude is otherwise. I saw the Jordan Grace Deonna Purrazzo segment whenever, and I guess that's setting this up. They also announced that it's going to be Grace versus Purrazzo at Slammiversary, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah.
So, here we are. Excuse me. Next up, we have the North addressing their striking of Ken Shamrock Areno. It boils down to basic idea of because we wanted to.
Basically, yeah.
Ken then comes down. They're like, you ain't got no tag team partners. You ain't got no friends. And Sami Callihan, because my hopes of a Kurt Angle mystery tag team partner dashed, pops up on the screen and goes, hey, who needs friends and partners when you have enemies? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden, Sami Callihan's in front of North, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And then Sami Callihan leaps into Ethan Page like he's this long-lost puppy. That doesn't make any sense. They brawl, they rumble, they juke, they jive, they spin move, stiff arm. I think there's a kick line at one point. Then Sami disappears after Shamrock is like, are we good? Sami's like, nope, thumbs down. Shamrock's like, that's not what I asked.
Sami does disappearing. Ken's like, so are we good?
I'm going to take it as we're good. Does that mean you're coming to my 4th of July barbecue? I'm going to take it like you're coming to my barbecue. So, to the best of my knowledge, Sami and the North don't have any issues with one another.
No. Sami's just kind of here. Just doing his stuff.
Maybe all those matches and such that we saw with him rabble-rousing and the like actually is paying off. Maybe Shamrock beating Sami at, what was that, January show, February show?
Something.
Maybe that actually had a purpose now. Maybe he literally beat some respect into Sami Callihan. That's gonna be interesting. So we mentioned
it's entirely possible.
Yes. So we mentioned the Good Brothers before. Now I don't know if you know this. The Good Brothers are a tongue-in-cheek tag team name for Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows.
Ah.
Yes. So when Scott D'Amore walked out of his office saying, honestly, a couple of good brothers like you will fit right in here, it made me think, Doc Gallows, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson must be coming into the Impact. So that'll be interesting, especially if they do reform Aces and Eights. They would fit right in there, mostly because you already got Gallows, who was a member of the Aces and Eights.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, it makes sense. So, D'Amore runs in the North, and the North complains about Sami and Shamrock, and D'Amore's like, I'm going to help you guys out. My fellow Canadians, you guys will not be ignored. I will make sure that justice is served. So you're going to get to fight Shamrock and Callihan at the pay-per-view for the tag team titles. And Josh Alexander mean mugs Ethan Page so hard as Ethan Page looks off camera like a scolded puppy.
Yep.
Did you do this? Did you do this? Josh Alexander was not happy. So, part of me is like, yes, put the belt on Shamrock. Fuck yes. All the yes to that one. Another part of me, Zach, is also saying, I want to see the North as tag team champions for 2 full years. Fuck that noise.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about all this?
I mean, I am kind of the same boat in the same boat. Like, I can dig Shamrock getting the tag titles. I can dig Shamrock getting a championship while he's here.
I could even dig Shamrock getting a championship when he's not here.
Yeah. But if he's gonna win the tag titles, I would like a better tag team than him and Callihan.
Mm-hmm.
Because while the whole mutual respect for warriors and stuff thing, I get that and I dig it. It still does not great tag team make, and there's still. It still doesn't jive well. It doesn't jive well enough for me to say have the North drop the belts.
I agree with you. I think the long and short of it right now, I don't think putting anything on Callihan is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
He's got too much baggage to his name. And I think when you look at Shamrock, I think you should be looking at raising up a talent with him. So if you had a grappler or if you had a young, because think about it, Impact really doesn't have any young prospects. You have the Rascals. They're all probably on the later side of 20. And Trey's in the main event. Ace Austin's, maybe the only one who's under 25 who you would consider a prospect, but they're already putting him in the main event. I don't even think he's ready for it yet, but here we are. So, there are no young boys, there's no young lions, there's no rookies that you can sit here and go, yeah. Here's your Anthony Bowens, your fucking Carl Fredericks of the world. You don't have any of that anymore. And I think that's kind of a problem, especially in this situation, because, like you said, Callihan and Shamrock really doesn't have that same type of energy that you would want as a tag team. But if you put Shamrock with a rookie or an upstart, or even a Davey Richards or Stephen Bonner type, where it makes sense style-wise, then okay. But, here we are. And I have a feeling that if they did win the belts, much akin to Eli Drake and Scott Steiner, they'd have one title defense and then lose it on their second.
Yeah.
So, if that's the scenario they're going with, I'd rather you just keep the belts on the North for another year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or win no scum.
Yeah, and I will say the problem. I think a big problem with them not having young prospects is every time they put someone in the main event, they win the belt, or they don't win the belt, and then they leave. So they're like, well, shit, we gotta fill that spot. We either bring in somebody else who's probably gonna leave again, just like everybody else, or we take one of our young guys and put them in that spot, even though they're not ready.
Yeah, kind of like with Ace Austin, and that's kind of the thing they need to avoid, yo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We then get Fulton. I guess that was a preview. Jimmy Jacobs catches up with Trey, or I should have a recap, not a preview. Catches up with Trey. Trey opens the door all sly, and he goes, "You looking for Fulton?" And Trey's like, "I'm about to be." So then we move on to the world title match. It's TNA World Champion Moose versus Crazy Steve. The Impact website is saying it's a championship match.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's now considered an official title. It says right here on the website, yo. Basically, it's a fine match for a man who's legally blind, which Crazy Steve is. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
He is in fact legally blind. That literally just means that he needs corrective lenses to drive. It's not like he's Stevie Wonder out there, although that would be impressive. So Steve gets fucked up. His mouth's all bleeding all over the place. Moose eventually, does his thing, goes for a big kick, gets bit, fucking catches him with a fall slam. Then he hits the spear that he's calling the lights out spear now, apparently. All right. I like the no jackhammer needed, but whatever. Here we are.
Yeah.
So clean win for the Moose. Steve kind of gets
clean win and a decisive win.
Yeah, Steve kind of is all like, "Hey, don't hit me," and Moose's like, "I'm gonna hit you," and Steve's like, "No, I said don't." And Moose's like, "I'm gonna," and Steve's like, "I said don't." And then Tommy Dreamer comes out here and goes, "Don't make me put you over my knee and spank you." And Moose's like, "Hey, you got something on the side of your face." And Dreamer's like, "What?" And Moose's like, "Blood." And Dreamer's like, "Oh my God, I bleed out. How'd you do that?" Moose's like, "I hit you really hard." And Dreamer's like, "You did?" And then Dreamer flies back and goes, "Oh, you hit me." I'm telling you, my version of Impact would be a lot better. So Dreamer's like, "Hey, you big bald bitch." So Dreamer cuts a promo on him after while wearing a Pro Wrestling Illustrated t-shirt, and I thought that was great. Even though their magazine doesn't recognize your title as a world title. Cool story. The funny thing that I found about this, though, is that Dreamer did, like, the one cardinal sin of pro wrestling. Do you know what his one cardinal sin of pro wrestling was?
What's that?
Dreamer said no one's ever going to buy a ticket to watch you wrestle.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Tommy. We know you and Tom Brady are like the same age. He's clearly in better shape than you. But, like, you don't need to compare yourself to the Brady by saying they never paid to see him in New England and they ain't going to pay to see him in Impact, because if no one's paying to see him, then why is your company employing him?
Yes.
I mean, like, I know Jim Cornette's all kinds of skeezy, but when his 06 promo when he debuted in TNA, what did he say? I'm going to look for guys who can win fights. I'm going to look for guys who can put butts in the seats, and I'm going to look for guys who can sell pay-per-views and TV ratings. If you can't do one of those things, you ain't going to last long. Or something like that. So if Moose can't do two of the three things that he needs to do to keep his job, why the fuck does he have a job?
It's fair.
Right? Like, I'm not asking unrealistic questions here, Tommy. He finished the promo by saying Moose is a waste of talent. No, that's fair. Now, this does kind of make it either seem like they're going to have a match before Slammiversary or at Slammiversary for the TNA World Championship. Would you be terribly upset if it was Dreamer, not EC3, that Moose had to deal with?
I would, because Tommy's not going to give him a good match.
Maybe if it's a hardcore match.
Maybe. And that's a maybe. But yeah, if it's not a hardcore match, then putting Moose against Dreamer at Slammiversary when you could do Moose versus Dreamer like at the Go Home show, and then have Scott D'Amore or something come up and saying, Moose, you're going to have a surprise opponent at Slammiversary, or something like that. And then out comes Eric Young or EC3 or whoever the fuck. So, yeah, I would be disappointed in that. I will say, other than Dreamer's cardinal sin of pro wrestling promos, for the first time, I was like, listening to his promo, and he said, you couldn't hack it, so you created your own championship to become a champion, or something essentially along those. And I was like, okay, for the first time, I'm actually glad that they're not officially acknowledging it, even though it already says it on the fucking cap sheet. I was like, okay. With that remark, I'm like, all right. I like. For now, I like them not acknowledging this because of that remark. It's like, okay, that is a great build up for a match.
Yeah, and the promo was really good.
It was. It was it was one of Dreamer's best promos for a long time, because prior to this, all of his promos have been like, "You're a bully, and I don't like you."
It worked even better because he came out in a mask and gloves. He's practicing his social distancing better than Kane, mayor of Knox County. And he spent 20 years on a mask. Just saying. Don't vote for a man who can't stand to be in a mask. That's why I will always vote for any wrestler who's ever wrestled in a mask.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super hardcore going to vote for Mil Mascaras and Blue Demon and Pentagon. Maybe not so much Pentagon Jr. That's because he's kind of a fuck. Doesn't know how to tag people. Fucking hell. Supermax, a.k.a. Hernandez, is arm wrestling now. I thought that was just for last week with, who was it, Johnny Swinger?
Yeah, it was. I guess they're like, this was fun. Let's keep doing it.
And I gotta admit, this was probably the best segment on the show.
It probably was.
And that's no slight on the show. So Jake Diener and Hernandez are arm wrestling for money, and Jake loses. So Cody's like, all right, cousin Jake, let me take a shot at this. And like they clench fists and they do that little finger thing that you do when you're about to arm wrestle, the over the top. And then Cody's like, he's almost there, and Hernandez is almost there, and then all of a sudden Diener, turns the hat back, and his eyes go wide, and he's all like, and then Hernandez barely flinches, and Hernandez just stares at Cody, and Diener just takes the hat and slides it back to its front position, and Hernandez wins easily. Like, it was a great fucking 30 seconds of just quality fucking slapstick humor.
It was. It was real good.
I have no idea what the fuck it's building to, but I liked it. It's real fucking good. Kiera Hogan defeated Havoc. As it's a Havoc match, I generally don't have much to say about it, other than thankfully no one got hurt. And Havoc avoided using any racial slurs during the match. It's like, thumbs up.
Has she been known to do that?
Yes, she has.
Hmm.
Yeah, like when her first run with Impact, they brought up tweets where she was using the hard ER.
Ooh.
Yeah. Got some problems in that area of Ohio. We don't rep Dayton or Cincinnati for Ohio. We call them Northern Kentucky. So that they're a Kentucky problem. Backstage, we got Moose's fears about Tommy Dreamer. Threatens defamation and to sue him unless he publicly apologizes. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Main event, I'm going to sum it up for you. Trey grabs Ace Austin's baton and starts going whole ham hock on Madman Fulton's legs, causing a big old DQ. And then everyone's like, oh, he's the Mad. Wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Now, there might come a day when Trey Miguel and Ace Austin are ready to be the best that they can be in the Army Reserves. But I don't think that day is today. I don't think that day is going to be on the 18th. I don't think that day is going to be in the next year or two. So while I respect Impact trying to make new world champions, this ain't it. This ain't it, man. How do you feel about them?
I mean, I feel the same way. I don't think they're ready. I mean, Trey, I wish could have won the X Division title, though I'm not mad. Willie Max got it. But I mean, but then if I'm to be honest, if you ask me, would I rather have Trey or Ace in this match or Mac? I would say Willie Mack.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of shot themselves in the foot because these two, although they already had their X Division feud, I guess you could call it, would much better be served in some type of match with Bay, especially Trey, while Willie Mack would be much more along the lines of the kind of guy you'd want to put in here. He's funny, he's charming, he's a decent worker, and if he does more of those Stone Cold promos, like that's even better. What? Drink a Steve Weiser. Stun someone. Drink another Steve Weiser. Stun someone else. Could just get Rikishi up here. I did it for the Rock. I did it for the people. Then you got fucking, what do you say about The Undertaker? Undertaker rose up and listened to his Backstreet Boys. No, that was Stone Cold. That was Stone Cold. Listening to his Backstreet Boys. What a great Loki dig. Listening to your Backstreet Boys. So we end the episode with a teaser trailer stinger. I like that they're doing these. These are great. So much better than Dixie's idea of, let's just show clips of next week's episode. Why? So we can take away the idea of it, being fucking live, whatever. So we see a coat. We see a cape. I went through 14 different words in my head. God damn it, Chad. Speak right. I went through 14 different words in my head before I landed on cape.
You're a comic book fan.
Right? And here's the funniest part. I'm thinking of that one episode from How I Met Your Mother where they were trying to find a way to cover up Marshall's head spot after he shaves like a big old chunk off. And Marshall looks to Barney and goes, or Ted and goes, we thought of Native American headdress before we thought of hat. And everyone just kind of nods like, yeah, we're pretty dumb. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah, I'm pretty dumb. So we see the cape, we see the cowl, or it's not really a cowl, it's more of a poofy neck thing. I don't know what you would call it. The collar, I guess. Do capes have back collars? Is that technically what it is?
I guess.
Goes around the back of the neck. Kind of like what Deanna Prazo has, only not as pronounced. Then you see the mask, and then you see the, I think there's like an SE, or like there's an S, or there's an E, or there's something. I forget what it was. And it's golden.
Definitely an E on the back of the cape.
And it's definitely golden red, which was the colors of Super Eric. Super Eric, with the power of having tag team title matches overturned so you don't actually win. Yeah, that's the one Eric Young moment that I remember most as his time as Super Eric. He and Frankie Kazarian were about to win the tag team titles until Eric Young fucked it up for everyone. And Frankie Kazarian even said, Eric, you're not a goddamn superhero. What are you doing? So we've kind of thought, like I even said before that I thought the guy in the chair watching the TV was Eric Young.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm not surprised that Eric Young is being advertised or hinted at. And I'm also not surprised mostly because Eric Young is a good friend with Scott D'Amore. And I'm also not going to be surprised when Eric Young shows up and I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Because I never liked at all Eric Young. Except in the Don't Fire Eric role.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fire Eric. Don't fire Eric. Don't fire Eric. What did you think of the hook?
Well, I kind of said it before. It's either like, because we have the cape, we have the Super Eric get up, and we had the Eric winning the world title clip earlier in the show. And then the previous week we had D'Lo Brown, and he had the Ace and Nate's cut. And then the week before that, was it the week before that EC3's music played?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so they're either it's going to be all of these guys coming in, like we're either going to get the reformation of Ace and Nate's, probably with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. We're either gonna get, and then EC3 and Eric Young, whoever else, or they're doing all this just to swerve us, and it's gonna be someone that we're not expecting.
Phil Brooks, Lex Luger, Mr. Wrestling 1. That would be horrifying. Oh, wait, I got it. It's the Yeti. Ron Reese.
Please not the Yeti.
We get some Ron Reese up in here.
The best part about the Yeti was that he was a mummy.
Is that he was what?
A mummy.
Oh, I thought you said he was a baby. I was like, what? Because you kind of cut out for a second. I was like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Did you know that Ron Reese was part of Vince Russo's Christian-oriented Ring of Glory wrestling promotion?
I did not know Vince Russo had a Christian-oriented wrestling promotion.
Of course he does. He's basically an evangelical for the pro wrestling community. I mean, it's like, obviously. Ron Reese is a tall motherfucker.
What? Why is Vince Russo still getting any play in the wrestling industry?
Because he's a commentator now about wrestling. I mean, I don't agree. I'm just telling you how it is. By the by, I don't know whose video this is. Are you watching the stream?
No. Let's go. What you got?
Because you need let me know. Let me know. Artie.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. I don't know whose video this is, but this is not the Yeti. That is literally just the 1930s mummy from the Universal Monster movies. What are you doing? They're supposed to, they're showing the tallest wrestlers in wrestling, but Kane is 6'8", Andre's 7 foot, Khali's 7'4". So this isn't even in order because there's no way in hell Kane's taller than the Big Show. Wait, what are you doing? Who fucking made that clip? What are you doing? What are you doing? So we get hints for the Good Brothers, Eric Young on this show. Last week's show, we got Ace Nates. Week before that, we got EC3. Week before that, we got something.
I think Team Canada was slightly hinted at.
We got a Sting throwback match, if I remember correctly. I think.
Maybe.
So, that takes us to the end of the show. Zachary?
Yeah.
You have anything else you want to contribute?
No, not really.
Hush, hush, I. Shy, shy, hush, hush. All right, so we will all be back tomorrow. Zachary, we are watching the first episode of Doom Patrol. The last 2 episodes of The Stargirl.
Yes. So just one episode of Doom Patrol's out, right?
Yes, because Doom Patrol comes out on Thursday. I do not want to burden anyone with having to watch it the day of for the show. I figured
Fair.
I can be magnanimous about that.
Magnanimous. But can you be gregarious?
I can be gregarious.
Oh, well, fantastic.
I can also be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And if you can't know by now that I can be gregarious, Zachary, I will show you in November when I sweep the feet of every female that I see right on off. Because gregarious is to be sociable. And I'm not going to stop until I reach gregarious or pariah by the end of my trip. I will
Probably pariah. I'm trying to think if there are single women that are going to be.
I never specified on status there, Zachary.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
If I cannot be famous, I will leave infamous.
Just like Spider-Man.
Yes, I'm gonna roll in with the music from John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Wow. It's gonna be the greatest entrance ever. I'm gonna walk in with like an overly long duster and a patch on my eye, and people are gonna be like, "You have a patch?" Yeah. And Grizzly Adams didn't have a beard. And then you're gonna be like, Grizzly Adams did have a beard? And I'm gonna be like, all right, fine. Who the fuck's Grizzly Adams anyway? I don't get that joke. Seriously, who the fuck's Grizzly Adams?
He was like a wilderness man or some shit.
Well, I guess that explains the name
he
Grizzly.
was like all.
He was all what?
All beard.
He was 98% beard.
Yes, that's the joke, is that he actually had like a giant.
Well, Adam Sandler, when you make a movie for the 90s, don't make a reference from the late 60s. I don't know. Just throwing that one out there. Or the 70s. I don't know when that fucking guy was a thing. I don't know. I don't fucking care either. RealNerdCorp.com. RealNerdCorp.com. We're also on Twitter at NerdCorp. On Instagram at RealNerdCorp. RealNerdCorp. I forgot to do the WCW the rest of the week. I'll do that after the show. It's going to be Jada Pinkett Smith, and let's go with we'll go with Chris Bay.
Ooh,
I don't have high expectations for him walking out of Slammiversary with the title, so we'll give him some glory today.
That's fair.
Glory today. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/Wrestling Underground or The Wrestling Underground. I forget which one it is. We're also on twitch.tv/Wrestling Underground. We will be on tomorrow at twitch.tv, Thursday, 9 p.m. Tomorrow, Thursday, 9 p.m., twitch.tv/Comic and Game Corp. That's COMICANDCORP. Nope, fuck that up. It's COMICANDGAMECORP. You need to correct me more often, motherfucker. Why else are you here? Someone's got to proofread this shit before I say it. So we're also on Podbean, iTunes, and Spotify. I was going to say Stitcher. We're not on Stitcher.
We used to be on Stitcher, didn't we?
No, we used to be on Mixlr. If we are
What
ever
was
on...
that other... we were on some other
We were
some,
on...
like,
we were
Twitch type thing.
Well, we were on Mixer.
Yeah.
We were on Mixlr. Not the same
Mixer.
thing.
Okay.
And then we were also on a, what was it? Blog Talk Radio.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point we were even on a free storage database. Those are what I like to call the lean years. Now we're on the premium Spotify, Podbean, iTunes combo. If you go to one of those three and you look up Real NerdCorp or NerdCorp, you're going to find us, and then you can watch us or listen to us. So do that. Or we're also on YouTube. You can just go to YouTube, search Wrestling Underground, and you can find Making an Impact on there. So, like, you got options. Zachary can also be found on his personals at Instagram and DeviantArt at Radiance2020, RADIANCE2020.
You got it.
You can find me on Twitter at Chad NerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut, Chadsphotohut. Tune in tomorrow as we talk Stargirl. Got 2 eps. The next 5 issues of Y the Last Man. We got the Doomy Patrol. And I think we had something else, but I can't remember it. So yeah, fuck it. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Twitch.tv/Comic and Game Corp. We'll see you then, or we'll see you some other time For Zachary Todd, PP Duncan, I'm Chad Porto. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. Remember to watch more wrestling. And as always, Zachary, why don't you wrap this sucker up?
Good night, Tessa Blanchard.